What's poppin', my people? It's good to see y'all today. What's going on? I appreciate y'all for being here. Book club is thick today. This is definitely gonna be one of them ones for real. If you guys have been in tune, I pray that you have, and I pray that you are prepared for today because this book is truly one of one. Honestly, it definitely puts things together in a perspective. Yeah, baby. Okay. Here, give me. You want to come out here for a second? Do you want to come here for a second? You're gonna let it fly in. All right. So with that being said, like I said, this book is one of one, y'all. What's dope is in the forward, he just kind of talked about like the simple fact. Brooklyn, come out here or shut the door. Which one? Come out here. Shut the door. Close the door. Come out here and close the door. Okay, then close the door. All right. Thank you very much. But yeah, y'all, like I was trying to say for the third time's a charm. In the forward, he was literally saying how there's one major thing that sets a lot of people apart when it comes to success, and it's emotional intelligence. And most people think that this is like one of them either I got it or I don't type of things. But this book literally puts it into perspective how you can actually develop. We talk a lot about personal development. It's one of the biggest things that we talk about, teach, and do here. And ultimately, this book gives a lot of practical ways on how to actually develop yourself personally. It gives a lot of practical ways on how to see exactly where you are, what you're doing, and the habits that are causing the reactions that you are having and the experiences that you're living through, and how to change those and how to create a whole new experience. So I know for a fact that I'm excited. I've actually never read this before, so this will be a first for me. I've just been trying to practice, and I said trying to because it was literally an attempt to fail over the years. If you don't actually get this specialized knowledge, are you really trying to get better at it? No. So, in that, I pray that everybody really takes this book serious and we're going to kick this thing off. And y'all know one of my rules always be lady first. So, it usually either be Mama Mary or Amber opening up the thing. You know what I'm saying? But Amber was on a call first today and I see her camera on. Shout out to Amber for leading by example. One thing I'd really love to implement, y'all, as we move forward is turning our cameras on calls. There's almost no way that we are all massively busy to the point where we can't have our camera on. I'd be outside door dashing with my camera on while I'm on Zooms. So I know for a fact, like my guy Cam, who's in the car, I know you moving stuff around. I know you might be doing Uber Eats this morning, but let me see that face, boy. Yeah, let me see that
My bad,
face.
dude. I thought it was already on.
Hey, it's all good. Donnie, what's up, birthday boy? It's your birthday. You ain't trying to show your face? I know you in there giving hugs and stuff, but like tune in. What's up, my boy? Kelsey, what's good, girl? I see you. Anna, I know you be having your baby, but like, come on, girl, where you at, girl? I know you got your phone in your hand more than likely. So turn that thing on. Matt, if you good, if you're not working. Sam, if you good, if you at the desk. Mama Mary, if you good, turn y'all cameras on. What's up, my people? I know it's Saturday morning, but look, I just be having to put a hat on. I look crusty too. I woke up at 10:07 today. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? We here. But in that, y'all, like one thing that AB really stresses on us as we've been moving forward in this relationship and just growing with his mentorship is like, yeah, I know my nigga Marcus is running, so that's the only reason I didn't say his name. But I knew as soon as he get done running, he gonna pop back on there. He said, "You don't want my camera on right now." LOL. I will. Once, Mama, I love you, girl. But good morning. Ain't no thing. We ain't scared of you, girl. You had some people on this call. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But in that, y'all, like he really stresses to have on your camera when you are on a call. Because let's be real, when your camera's off, how likely is it that you're actually paying 100% attention? You know, Imani came on here a few weeks ago when we were on a book club call, and she literally said something, a whole squad, like, yo, sometimes I be feeling like everybody just kind of comes on here to just real quick speak and not listen to everybody else. And ultimately, that's not a mastermind, period. That's a popcorn session where nobody else is listening, which is cool, but we're not hopping on here to just speak to be speaking. We're literally speaking to be heard. We're speaking to each other. We are masterminding among principles so that we can learn more together. So please, 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 please take an hour out of your life every Saturday and just real live tune in because this isn't for everybody. This is for you. period. Yes, somebody might have pushed you to get on this call, but it's not for any type of incentive to them. It's not paying anybody on this call whatsoever to be here. Y'all, like, we don't make money off a book club, y'all. There's not a reason that we're promoting this other than like, yo, if you were the person that you needed to be in order to hit the goals that you wrote down with us when you first got started, you would be him or her. And if you're not, get on here, pay attention, and take yourself serious because ultimately you are slowing down your own journey. Don't you want to get there already? Throw some twos in the chat if you absolutely like praying for and like absolutely need success in your life. If you need the next level of your life, if you need the next level of abundance in your life, because there's people like that might be on this call that want it, and that's cool, but like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say too much there. Then there's people that need it. And those are the people that are going to go get it. The people that just want it, I promise you, they're just going to twiddle their thumbs until you absolutely need to go and hit the next level, until you absolutely need to go become the next person because you're so tired of the struggles that you've been going through. That's when you'll start taking yourself seriously. And what's crazy is it's not like something has to happen to you in order for you to make that choice. You can literally wake up and make that decision, even when it doesn't feel good. That's called commitment. That's called discipline. That's called emotional intelligence. So let's kick off this book. Amber, you can start us off, girl.
Woo! My cow just came for everyone this morning, and I love it so, so much because he's right. Like, honestly, he already said it, so I'm just gonna say it again. You're not doing anybody else a favor, like getting on this call. Like, it's for you. It's literally for you. So think about it. Okay, so this book is crazy. First of all, the story in the beginning, whoa, like he um almost got attacked by a shark, And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure like I would have froze or something, or I don't know. I don't know what I would have done in that. And I thank God I'll never have to find out to be in that situation. But that was crazy. Okay, so real quick, one of the first things that it pointed out, it said, by understanding what emotional intelligence really is and how we can manage it in our lives, we can bring all of that intelligence, education, and experience we've been storing up for all these years. And so the second point that I made was it says you might want to read this book twice. So I know that's a point that we point out in a lot of the books that we read is the accumulated repetition of these principles. So I'm excited. This is the first time I'm reading this book too, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for book club for like introducing it and having the system and the structure for us to get this knowledge in because it's so, so, so important. And I also loved what Mikkel said about the special like knowledge. Like, yeah, like are you really, dedicated to the craft if you don't have that special nice knowledge, like if we just keep talking about emotional intelligence instead of actually studying it and learning how to apply like the principles to our life. So excited, grateful for this. So the story in chapter 1 was crazy and I highlighted a whole bunch more. But he says here, the thoughts of escape and survival flooded Butch's mind as quickly and completely as terror had in a moment prior. Butch's fear morphed into anger as he waited for the beast to strike. The shark came at him again, and Butch decided it was time to put up a fight. And so Butch's thoughts raced between terror and sadness. He wondered I highlighted this. He wondered what his 3 children were going to do without him, how long his girlfriend would take to move on with her life. He wanted to live. He wanted to escape this monster. He needed to calm down if that was ever going to happen. Butch convinced himself that the shark could sense his fear like a rabid dog. He decided he must get hold of himself because it was fear that was motivating the shark to strike. So I just wanted to highlight that because like all of those thoughts that he was thinking about, we all like have those moments, when something emotional happens, like when we're in, highly either stressful situations, sad situations, high emotional situations, and all of the thoughts like come to our mind, like all of the things that could possibly happen that could go wrong come into our minds. And so that's normal. I know sometimes like especially in this process of transforming our mind, we talk about mental discipline a lot and like, not having certain thoughts But really it's not about not having those thoughts. It's about us not identifying with those thoughts or believing those thoughts or continuing to have those thoughts that come like automatically from the emotional situation. And the second thing that I really like loved that it pointed out, because I did not know this, and now everything like makes so much sense. Um, The daily challenge of dealing effectively with emotions is critical to the human condition because our brains are hardwired to give emotions the upper hand. Here's how it works: everything you see, smell, hear, taste, and touch travels through your body in the form of electrical signals. These signals pass from cell to cell until they reach their ultimate destination, your brain. They enter your brain at the base near the spinal cord, but must travel through your frontal lobe behind your forehead before reaching the place where rational logical thinking takes place. The trouble is they pass through your limbic system along the way, the place where emotions are produced. The journey ensures you experience things emotionally before your reason can kick into gear. So another thing is I just love how everything is so like in alignment, because literally in the last powerful creator call, we were talking about how we're thinking and how, you have to take a moment to really think about, your actions and think about things in a particular way. And so with this like information, it really makes sense how your first thought, your first initial thought is going to be emotional always, no matter what. It doesn't mean anything about you. It doesn't mean that you're not disciplined enough. It doesn't mean that you are a bad person. It doesn't mean anything like that. It's literally just science. Like that's what happens, like a lot of times people have intrusive thoughts or negative beliefs, negative thoughts because of things that they've been through, and they think it means something about them. They think it means that it's that they're a bad person or this and that, but that's not true. You just had a bad thought. People have bad thoughts or like intrusive thoughts all the freaking time, but it doesn't mean nothing about you. So we have to practice allowing those thoughts to pass, like to come and let them go, like completely just let them go. And so this is like scientific proof that your first initial reaction to something is going to be emotional, right? So whenever we're going through something, it's crucial that we, have a practice where we stop and we allow ourselves to really allow our emotions to process, allow ourselves to really process our emotions and like give ourselves times to breathe before we react, so we can actually respond to what it is that we are saying. And that is really like the biggest thing that I got from this chapter. Let me see. He just said it like really perfectly. Right here. Since our brains are wired to make us emotional creatures, your first reaction to an event is always going to be an emotional one. You have no control over this part of the process. You do control the thoughts that follow an emotion, and you have a great deal of say in how you react to an emotion as long as you're aware of it. And then he talks about somewhere up in here, he talked about how only like 35% of people are able to accurately identify their emotions as this happens. And honestly, like it's true, like it's a muscle, like we can continue to learn, we can continue to, be able to identify our emotions faster. But at the end of the day, like stuff is going to happen and we're not always going to be perfect, so even if we are able to identify those emotions and like quickly process them, we still have to allow ourselves like to process them and understand that it's a practice. Like we're never going to be perfect. There's never this like perfect where we just figured it out and we're always just reacting, responding all the time perfectly. No, right? It's a process, it's a practice. And so we have to have grace on ourselves and look at it as a practice. So whenever you do react, we have to have a strong forgiveness muscle so we could like look at that situation as so we could learn from our situations and get better, because that's the only reason we're here, is to like get better, and to we're not here to get better. We're here to experience this life the best that we can, and we are more able to experience it more fully when we are able to understand our emotions and understand what's really going on and understand that we have the power to experience everything that we want. Okay, so that's what I got from this chapter. Obviously, it fired me up, and I'm really excited to like continue. This is just like so much of stuff that we've been talking about recently and so relative to like everything right now. There was one more point I wanted to make, but it'll come to me later. Okay, next. I'm complete. Let's see. It was Donovan because it's Donovan's birthday. Hey, Donovan.
What's poppin', y'all? Turn that down, please. You know what I mean? What's up? It's been a minute. Um, but I had to dive into this book for sure, just because it's a big one. It's something that I'm constantly working on, and it's pretty crazy. Where like the first chapter, he was talking about EQ, but referencing back to this dude who was surfing and controlling his emotions when in fear and understanding that aspect of like just in every situation, everything that we pretty much do come across, we experience emotion, and it's just up to us on how it is that we respond and react and the actions that we take based off the emotions. And um, with understanding and knowing your EQ, um, and really growing in that aspect. And the only way you do so is through the awareness that you create for yourself and continue to go through. And for me, that's definitely been a big one with like just dealing with family and everything. It's like knowing that there's times where like I want to react, but in a in the way my mind and my emotions tell me, but I control it and I react in a very civil manner. Um, and sometimes like they may not understand or get it. And a lot of times people don't have the EQ and they don't understand emotional intelligence or not. Um, or yeah, and in that, all they want to do is just argue or go back and forth. And like I'm not doing that, and they tend not to understand, and it aggravates them even more. It's it's pretty funny being in situations like that. It's like you're tripping, and in that though, there was this the other night. I woke up. Yes, I had a dream, but I woke up and I thought I heard like cops and ambulance and all that, and our doors like slam closed. And so like I like woke up and this night I was sleeping on the couch. I fell asleep and I woke up and I was just like looking around. But like my heart was beating and I was sitting there like calming myself down because like in that moment, like it was an emotional state of fear. I was just like calming myself down and I finally like, all right, you gotta get up and see what's up. So like I like moved around the house very tactically. And then I go to my grandparents. I'm like, "Did y'all hear that?" And they're like, "No, you were dreaming." But in that, like I've been reading the book, and I was like, "Bro, emotional intelligence." But I'm excited for the rest of this book and the input that y'all got. because I know it's a good one for sure. Um, and I'm back. I'm gonna go with Anna.
Hey, hi guys. So I kind of read this book last minute this morning, right before the call. Um, but me and Marcus were talking yesterday about the whole emotional intelligence. We had like a deep conversation last night about it with my mom. And he was talking about how there are a lot um of my relationships that are like surface level. I think that's what he was saying, right? If I'm correct, they're surface level and they're not genuine, which kind of like made me like think like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even recognize a lot of my relationships are surface level because I'm not emotionally intelligent. You know what I mean? Like I could definitely get there, you know what I mean? But as of right now, I feel like I know like a lot of the times I can tell like they're being honest because it's hurting me, and if it's hurting me I care because I know it's true. um so I think there was this one, let me see, this one line that I saw in the book for the first chapter was, emotions can help you and they can hurt you, but you have no say in the matter until you understand them. And that really like, it really made me open my eyes because a lot of the emotions that I have, I don't reflect on them before I react. Um, so I just pop off, you know what I mean? And that is definitely not fair to the people who I talk to. And it's just it's just different seeing it on like the actual on an actual book, and then knowing that that's how I react, or knowing that I know that I need to do that but I don't do it. Um, that was just um one of the lines that really got to me, I guess. I don't know how a book work how book club works. I don't know if I'm doing it right. But yeah.
You're doing great, honey.
You're great, sis. You're doing great.
Okay, but I think that was it.
Somebody.
Um, I'll go with Matt.
I can go if he's not ready. You want to popcorn your mama? Okay. Good morning, guys. I hope everybody's good. Um, it's crazy to me because Anna, that same sentence you just read, that's my first note that I had written down because I too am learning how to become emotional intelligent. It can work. Um, and by understanding what those emotional intelligence really are, that's how we can manage that in our lives with every situation, whether it be in my instance with my mom, with my kids, with my husband, just outside of family with, coworkers, whoever. It's something that I've learned that for me to be able to keep the piece that I have worked so hard on, I don't want to put myself in situations where I'm going to revert back to my old ways. And those ways were not pretty at all. And I don't want to be known for a person who just reacts and goes off the whim and just says things to hurt because I'm a woman of God and I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt other people's feelings. Um, and I've learned and I'm still learning how to control those emotions and the things that want to populate in my mind and follow through out of my mouth and through my tongue. I would much rather show the growth that I've had this far, um, regarding this book. And in chapter, I read the foreword before chapter one, and it states, that we can observe people who are like well educated people and them struggle while other people with fewer like skills than they have can flourish in this. But it's because everything has to do with what's called emotional intelligence. And that right there, I've never heard of that word until a few years ago. Like I said, I was one to make sure I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me. Or if you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you more. Or I'm going to do or say whatever it is or whatever it takes because I'm going to have the upper hand. And that's the type of person I was. And it's not something that I'm proud of. It is a part of my past. It is something that I don't want to teach my girls. And it's something that I carry at the forefront of my mind because, you know, not only can we have these issues, and me being a parent of adult kids and teenage kids, um, I'm telling you, this wave is crazy. It's crazy with older men and younger women who are becoming into the young adults. I just want to show my girls what it's like to work on yourself. Because I don't want them to work on themselves when they're at my age. They've already got the upper hand with being surrounded by the people who want better for them, who dive into educational books. Um, chapter one, and I'm sorry if I'm ranting, but chapter one literally talks about the guy who freaks out about the white shark, surrounding him. And honestly, I was at the hospital with my mom yesterday when I read this book, and I literally tried to put myself in that position. And me now, I would like my mind would work on ways of not to feel afraid or scared because of course the sharks do, they, like anybody says, they can smell your fear or whatnot. But I literally put myself in that position, and I honestly was like, would I be able um to calm myself down in that situation, even me being in my early stages of learning how and what emotional intelligence is. um did you need me, son? Oh,
On his car in the train. I know they said Sunday, but
okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I've got a problem, guys. I've got a popcorn somebody. I'm so sorry about that. So if somebody just wants to go, I can finish up here afterwards. Thank you. Sorry about that. No, it's not your problem. So whoever wants to go.
I can take it. I go. What's up, family? Hey, first off, Mikhail, I appreciate you holding not only myself but all the whole squad accountable. Because man, that's that's what we all need. And like, just personally, if someone's holding you accountable and you're like upset and you're like have a bad taste in your mouth, man, put that mirror up and look, is it because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And I'll leave it at that. All right, this book is crazy, yo. Like, this, man, I encourage you, read this book. Read this book. Please read this book because, man, and if you don't, I encourage you to get the hard copy as well because in the back of the book, y'all, there is a letter, and if you read in the forward, he says that he has a test that you gives you two access to do it. You take it before you read the book to understand where it is you really are emotionally, and then when you're after the book, you can find out like how much you've improved and how much you've grown and how much you know now. Because honestly, y'all, like it sounded like I appreciate everyone sharing. It sounded like we understand what emotional intelligence is, but how to improve it, how to work on it, how to, just be aware. And that this book literally breaks it down. I mean, from the science, you're talking page 6 has a picture of a brain from the spinal cord, what things, how we input things, just like from a science point of view, it goes from our spinal cord, it hits our limbic system, which is everything that we feel, and then our thought goes into the cerebral cortex where we rationally think. So every thought we have goes right through our limbic system to causes us to react. So our first initial response isn't a response, it's a reaction. And if we could just be aware of that and just say, all right, my first initial reaction is not the right thing. I have to not react. I have to get past that and respond. So that I think was really, really great. Of course, to really tie into the emotional state of the forward, that man was coming face to face with a great white shark, and I don't think we've ever had that life or death situation, but it's just to illustrate that if something like that were to happen, how would we respond? How would we react? And how would we overcome? So that was really big. And man, just from just a breakdown of just actual tangible like work that you can do. Man, on page 13, he has a graph. I don't know if I have my blur on, but man, he has a graph of just high intensity feelings, medium intensity feelings, and low intensity feelings. And man, I'm telling you, my emotional intelligence was not where I thought it was because all I would say is, I'm happy. Like, how you feeling? I'm happy. And that was just my one word, my one emotion. But to tell you that, like, there's elated, there's overjoyed, cheerful, glad, content. And my emotional intelligence thought like a low intensity feeling was bad. Like if I was just content, if I was pleased, like I needed to be at a high emotional state. And, just to personally thinking about that, like if I'm always at a high emotional state, like if I'm just elated, depressed, furious, terrified, remorseful, like it's a lot, like it's draining. And so just to have the emotional intelligence to know that if I can just, I don't have to be at that high emotional state or there's a high elevated emotions, I could be content, I could be, upset, I don't have to be furious, like, so that was really huge in of what I picked up in the first chapter. And just to continue breaking it down, I mean, EQ, we're going to hear that a lot because obviously we know what IQ is, and intelligence. um, and they said IQ you're born with, and you can't really, improve it. Your IQ, how you understand things, is what you're born with. But emotional intelligence, like that's the greatest thing that Mama Mary was picking up on, that you could work on it. We can improve this. And like Anna said, once we are aware of it, once we are conscious of our unconscious thoughts, y'all, because we have thousands of unconscious thoughts that are just probably the thoughts that we thought yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. Like, man, I don't want to wake up. I don't want to go to work, And the same thoughts that we have subconsciously are the reason why we're having the same results that we've always had. And so once we're aware of the subconscious thoughts and we're aware of what we think and what we are, then we can improve it. We can work on it, guys, because emotional intelligence can grow. just through the self-awareness and the social awareness. So I thought that was really huge. I'm excited for the whole squad to get in tune with this book and the emotional intelligence because y'all, like personally, I know I'm not where I need to be. Like I have conversations with people that, still get my blood boiling, you know what I'm saying? Like I still get upset and I know like, man, if I could just honestly, man, it's like pride. I have a lot of like ego. Ego is a big thing. So, if you just break that down and, instead of being right, be happy. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being right, be rich. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always wanted to be right. Like, and that's why I'm at where I'm at, guys. Like, so just understanding that and being aware of it, y'all. Like this book is really gonna help us in practical advice, and metabolic advice. That wasn't the right word, but yeah, like so that's what I got out of this. I appreciate everyone sharing. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited. If you do not have the hard copy to get the test, I highly recommend it. Just so Amber touched on too, like we are not here for other people. We're here for ourselves. So please, this is a book to help us. Please get everything you can out of it. We can only share our perceptions of it, but it's only real when it comes from yourself, y'all. So I appreciate y'all letting me share. I see Namani just come on, but I'm gonna hit my boy Cam if he's available. Cam, I see your camera on.
Yeah, it was good, y'all. I'm literally about to drop a Uber Eats order in the mix. Not going to cap to you. Miss Becky is about to get this fire cake. So if you give me like 30 seconds, I can go. Uh, well, no, I got it. I got it. So yeah, this book is fire. I literally just read the beginning of it literally this morning just because I wanted to like reskim. Like I skimmed through it over the week and then I took a deeper look when I like woke up this morning because I knew I'd have a little bit of time to. So a couple of things I got were some of the statistics on what it's like to have emotional intelligence versus only rocking with just like your regular IQ. And I'll be real, I'll be frank. I'm one of those guys that, like Sam says, I like to be right. I like to be right. And sometimes it's at the cost of being rich. So coming to that understanding that sometimes your emotional intelligence, like actually, I forget exactly what the statistic was, but it says something along the lines of like there's a certain percentage of people that have a certain amount of emotional intelligence and they will go way further than the person with the IQ. And for me, I ain't gonna lie, that hurt. Because like I like to think of myself as pretty smart. And at the same time, I like to think of myself as having some fairly regulated emotional intelligence, but coming to realize that even I still need to daily work on it, which is funny because it's just tried and true. But okay, in the convention center, where are you at? All right. So yeah, in this mix, the other thing that like really stuck out to me was the fact of like the shark story. Because everyone had like, I feel like in some way, everyone doesn't really speak on their do or die situation that God has put them through. I don't really like to speak on mine because I feel, I have my own regulated emotions towards that, and it brings up a lot of traumas that I haven't spoken on yet. That being said, it's something that I'm working on. But in that mix, everyone has had their shark in the water story. It's just a matter of learning how to slow down, process what's actually being said and what's happening at that moment, recognizing the season that you're in, and really just choosing to, no matter what you're going to do, otherwise you will die. And coming from coming from the guy that's been in a hospital bed a lot in my lifetime, I always like to make the joke of I've been in a hospital bed more than I've been in my own house. Coming from that side of the world and seeing that, like, I've seen a lot of the people that don't make it. I've seen a lot of the people that do make it. The biggest tried and true reason why people don't make it is because they speak it over themselves, for one, and for two, their emotions will tell them everything that they cannot listen to in that time. And I know this because it did the same thing for me in my 7th heart surgery. And I had a heart to heart with my dad. And that was the only thing he was like, look, you got to get your emotional intelligence in check. And I didn't understand it then. I didn't. But now I do. And I'm glad I had that conversation. And I'm glad I just chose to be like, you know what? Maybe I'm just being a little hard headed. Maybe I'm going to just shut up and listen to this time and see what happens. So a lot rang and hit me in a lot of hard places in these first 2 chapters. And I really cannot wait to see what happens next, honestly. So that's my piece. I appreciate y'all for hearing me out. I'm going to popcorn. I think Miss Mary is back. I'm not entirely sure if she's good to go, but just to be safe, I'm going to popcorn Imani if you're available.
What's up, y'all?
What's good? What's good?
Hey,
Hey,
Cam.
I love the
I
fact
don't
that this
know.
man called Mama Mary,
I don't
Miss
know if
Mary.
you got this joke, but cause you kind of made a joke. It was like a pun. You was like talking about all the surgeries that you had, and then you're like, me and my dad had a heart to heart. That was a good one. That was a good one. I don't
I
know
ain't even
about
trying.
it. I swear I'm being empathetic, but I was like, that. Hey,
Man, like the dad jokes literally come out of nowhere.
exactly. It was like perfect. I was like, did he know what fire he just dropped right now? Like, I don't know, but I just had to throw that out. Okay, thanks.
Hey,
um,
as I always say, I just want to say it again, Imani. Thank you for your energy every Saturday morning, girl. You always come on here and crack everybody up, bro.
hey, no problem. I'm here for the collective. What's up? Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. So I was reading this book and I'm not gonna lie, it's giving me power of awareness vibes. And I think it's because my emotional intelligence is just like now coming up. So like I kept reading it over and over again, and it was just like, okay, like not like going over my head, but I think I need to just like read it and like keep going and drilling into it because my emotional intelligence is like, yeah, it's growing, like I said. But what I will say is the shark story. I mean, I can for real, everybody does have their shark story. And man, like I think now I'm in a place where my shark story is like I kind of have to I don't necessarily have to dig into it because I know what it is, and I've moved on and I've made a way for myself. But it's like now emotionally, it's a whole different ball game out here. Now I'm like, okay, how do we make these decisions correctly? So this is going to be an interesting book for me personally, just because, in like, I'm a communication major in school, never finished, don't care. Um, but I did finish all my communication classes. And one of the hardest parts for me was like the emotional empathy with like other people and in the term, yeah, just like with other people and being empathetic to all kinds of situations without, kind of blowing up. Yeah, that man. And I definitely have been tested recently on that, just like kind of dealing with my aunt and her son, and just like having to, like, even just reading this a little bit, helping me to kind of like calm myself down instead of arguing with the narcissist and playing into that hand. So I definitely need to read it again. I'm not gonna lie, it's just not something I'm real familiar with. I am, but I need some help. So I'm really happy to be listening to y'all feedback. And hopefully, like by the end of this book, I'll be in a better position with it. So I don't know who hasn't gone. Happy birthday, Donovan. I forgot about that. Happy birthday. Okay. If Mom Mary, if you're not ready, I'm a Mikkel.
I was saying it's gonna be one of us. Let me move out. I'm not still echoing, am I? Nope, we're good. Had to mute my computer. Forgot about that. I could do that, y'all. What up, though? It's probably
If his phone don't die at least once during a Zoom call, we didn't have a Zoom call.
I'm crying. I was like,
that's actually crazy, bro. I was like, what just happened in my ear? That's crazy, bro. Well, here's what we're gonna do, you guys. We're gonna go ahead and hop on the other phone because it's only a matter of time till my AirPods stop working on my computer too. You don't, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? It's real in the field. But well, that's
Mama's back if you want to go, Mom.
Mama, you can definitely take it.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Problem has been resolved. Let's see. I need to get my notes up. Sorry, guys. All right. So, on to chapter 2. I kind of laid it down for chapter 1. That was my most important notes that I kind of displayed. But going into chapter 2, the bigger picture. Oh, by the way, has anybody done this IQ test? I know Marcus has, but I think I want to do it. Just to kind
Yes,
of.
we were discussing it earlier today about how not sure if the code that is in the book only allows for a one-time take.
Okay. No
I'll try
worries.
that whenever I get home, and if mine allows me to take it again, then I'll just throw it in there for everyone.
Sam
It's only for a
only for
one-time
one
use.
time.
Okay, that's what I remembered, bro, but I just didn't remember.
That's okay.
Cool.
No worries. No worries.
Hey, I'm gonna see if I can just send in like somebody or my own like invoice to TGF Network and let them know about what we got going on here. And then I'm gonna see if that works because you like gotta email it in to get a code if you've ever got the ebook somewhere else. So in that, I will see it allows you twice though before and after you read the book. Okay, that's fire. I will see if that works, and if that works, then I'll just make sure that everybody has a picture of their invoice and they can just email that in. And I'll make that happen by next week's book call, I promise.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mikkel. So into chapter 2, there are a few things that caught my eye, and just basically stating, that despite the growing focus on emotional intelligence, a global deficit in understanding and managing emotions remains. Only 36% of people we tested were able to accurately identify their emotions as they happen. This means that 2/3 of us are typically controlled by our emotions and are not yet skilled at spotting them and using them to our benefit. Like, I'm part of that, but now we are learning. I am learning as I get and find myself into situations um where I have to turn the light on up here. It's working. We can definitely learn how to control your emotions, how to respond versus reacting. So the more that you educate yourself, the better. And um into chapter 2, there's a highlighted area. And I used Marcus's book, and he's got a whole bunch of things highlighted. But it states here good decisions require far more than factual knowledge. We need self knowledge and emotional mastery, is what we need the most, is what it states here. Um, so just into this book, I mean, it definitely helps with people who struggle with anxiety, people who fear or feel fearful. Um, and also, I mean, that and the journey of getting closer to God kind of helps with all of that as well, and just kind of keeps your brain aware. Your awareness is key, and once you're aware, it's hard to not. It's actually easy to still continue to do what makes you comfortable. The hard part is making the decision to not remain in that comfortable state and really, like, for me, I have to talk myself out of outlashing, of, you know, somebody messes with my kids, mama bear wants to come out, type thing. And if I allow myself to react that way, because it happens, and it's still going to happen, to my adult kids, to my middle child, to my baby. um People are mean. People are mean, and um it's it's an easier course to protect in the way that they come at you, because that's all I've known. But I don't want to be that example. I want to be the example of where I let them, my kids, know that, hey, you're going to have people who come at you sideways, but that does not mean that you have to be on that same level with them. Be the bigger person. It gets tiring being the bigger person, but I promise you, it is rewarding. Not for clout, but for you. You know what I mean? And I'm just talking out of my personal experiences. It's definitely it's hard. It's hardcore to do that, and like Amber said, it's not going to happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. But for you to maintain that growth, you can't allow yourself to go backwards. So this is my first time reading this book. But a lot of the emotional intelligent things that I've learned are because of Marcus, because of what he's taught not only me, but his whole family, all of us. So I'm excited. I'm ready to dive into this book. So thank you guys for your time. Who hasn't gone? Antonio, did Matt leave? Oh.
Marcus has to go
Yeah,
next. He's got to go to work.
Oh yeah,
appreciate it,
Antonio,
bro.
go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Antonio's his
I
middle
think,
name. You can call him Antone,
oh
Marcus
Lord,
Antone.
Mark's Antone. Oh my gosh, Mom, how you gonna put me out there like that? All right. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Gosh, um, I'm not gonna take a lot of your time because I'm obviously driving and I'm driving a borrowed vehicle, so I just want to be safer than sorry. Regards to the fact, Y'all, I cannot express how excited I am that we're reading this book. I've been wanting to put this book in the rotation since we started book club. And when we decided to throw it in this year, I was ecstatic because what I've learned through the moments of reading this book for the first time and then applying the principles as we've been building our organization and building our team is that all conflict, all challenges, and all miscommunications really do stem from either an efficient amount or a lack thereof of emotional regulation and intelligence. A lot of tension and conflict that is bound to arise is usually due to feelings and emotions. And where most people get it twisted is the expression of it. I was talking to Anna yesterday, and I just wanted to touch on what she was talking about in terms of majority of our relationships are surface level because we are surface level with ourselves. My mom literally quoted some of the book where he was essentially talking about self-discovery and self-awareness is needed more than any other wisdom out there. And at the end of the day, if you are unable to accept the feelings that you are now identifying and recognizing, you are not being honest with yourself. And it could be the smallest little lie, but because you can't be honest with yourself, how do you expect to develop genuine and honest relationships with others? You can't. You've never done it with yourself. So I think this was like the key factor for me to develop some intentional relationships that have honestly gotten me where I'm at today and has helped me progress along my journey and got me to a spot where, y'all, when I get emotionally tested, your boy recognizes it. I'm able to utilize the practical strategies that they teach in self-awareness, in self-management, in social awareness, and relationship management to go and actually produce a different result. Like it's real life. This book works. And as uncomfortable as it is, Imani, I'm specifically talking to you because I heard how you're like, bro, I don't know, it's going to be a lot. Lean into the uncomfortability because it's only you recognizing that you can become better and do better. And you're now giving your awareness an opportunity to choose better. You just got to decide to choose. And that's the part that's difficult while you're experiencing the emotion. Yo, I'm not going to lie to you. I was productive today. I got up on time, a little 30 minutes later than I wanted to, but I got up on time and I got all my stuff done and I was ready to get out the door. And y'all heard me speak to my mom. We had to handle an issue real quick that came out. And the entire time as I'm listening to you guys talk about the book and reminding myself of what I read over the first couple chapters and how I produced everything over the past 3 years in terms of my own emotional management and regulation, I was like, yo, I'm getting tested right now. I got in the car, y'all. Mom can't even make this up. My freaking Red Bull spilled all over my pants. And I'm listening to you guys speak. And I breathe. And I literally was like, Satan, get out, leave me alone. Because I need to be in motion, y'all. I could feel my breath becoming really shallow and faster. I could feel my heart rate. And I could see how I was frustrated, y'all. I could like look at my facial expressions. I was like, all right, deep breath. Let me get some oxygen to my brain and let me be in motion. But y'all, if you take what he's saying or what both of these authors are saying in the book and you allow yourself to be in tune with it, it's a wrap. He says, considering the range of emotions people express, it's no wonder they can get the better of us. We have so many words to describe the feelings that surface in life, yet all emotions are derivatives or same thing, deviations, whatever, of five core feelings: happiness, sadness, anger, fear, and shame. As you move through your day routine, whether you're working, spending time with your family or friends, eating, exercising, relaxing, or even sleeping, you are subject to a constant stream of emotions. It is easy to forget that we have emotional reactions to almost everything that happens in our lives, whether we notice them or not. The complexity of these emotions is revealed in the varying forms of intensity. And it's honestly in the willingness to sit in it. Like you cannot avoid the happiness, the shame, the fear. What were the other two? Sadness and anger. You can't avoid any of that, which means that when you recognize that it is inevitable, you can stop avoiding it and you can actually face it. And that's the part. Sometimes because we don't Like, bro, we're human beings, y'all. We want to experience good life. I believe in the fact that 99% of people on the planet want a good life. They want more. They want to be happy. They want good relationships. They want a healthy body. They want a good sound mind. They want positive relationships. They want the entirety of all of it, y'all. But what will keep people from actually obtaining it is surface level. When I started seeing that they broke it up in four components, and he broke it down in chapter 2, so I can't wait till we actually get in the nitty gritty of things for it. But when I recognized there were four components, you've got to recognize you can't do it all with just one component. You can be self aware and manage yourself great. But if you don't have social awareness and relationship management, you are never going to be able to obtain or regulate your own emotions. There's no way. Because as he just said, regardless of what you're doing or where you're at, there are things that trigger your emotions. And shout out Amber and Sam who went into the science. I love science, y'all know me. But when they opened up the book with some scientific facts, I was like, yes, yes. Because everything is related, y'all. And if you recognize more about how the processes work and why you feel a certain type of way, like, okay, cool, you're angry, but why are you feeling angry? What's beneath the surface? What's beneath the obvious? That's where you can really empower your subconscious mind so that your subconscious reaction starts to become what you've trained it to be, not what you've been programmed to be. Y'all, you can ask, look, mom, you can just shake your head real quick. I'll be very transparent. I used to have an anger issue and be very frustrated with my family as well as people like my ex or individuals who were just not on the same page as me. And as Sam had said earlier, I just wanted to be right because I knew I was right or whatever the case was, and I just needed it. But in the process, I stopped caring, bro, and I recognized the type of quality of life I wanted to have and the quality of relationships that I needed to make that lifestyle a possibility. And I put my pride and my ego aside, and I recognized that I bet if I want to learn, let me really dive into these principles. Let me actually apply the things that countless mentors have told me to read and do. And then instead of just trying to figure it out or learn it, let me actually do it so that I can overstand the material and I can live it in my day to day. So I appreciate this book, something serious. I can't wait till you guys actually dive into it. I'm going to implore you all that as you're reading, there are practical steps that he tells you to do, from writing down notes to making lists and to giving it a go. But if you within 24 hours of reading something, apply that thing, you can get feedback on what that thing does, and you can compare that to what you've been doing. And if what you've been doing is not exactly getting you to where you truly want to be, why not try something else? That's all I'm going to say. Just be willing to see. For those who are faith driven and operate with God in the center, Jesus himself literally says, taste and see. Test it. If you seek, you'll find. Most people understand that saying, but they never go and seek. Therefore, they'll never find. They get hurt all the time and they believe, yeah, just ask, bro, and it'll be given to you. But they'll never ask fully. They won't. So you've got to stay intentional and stay focused throughout this period. If this is uncomfortable or it's difficult while you're reading or applying, good. That means that you care. That's what I was telling Anna yesterday. And it means that you genuinely want to be better. And you have the power to. And as my mom was breaking down, just a reminder, it's more important that you recognize and know yourself so that you can grow in that manner. I love you guys. I got to go. Much love. I'll talk to y'all soon. Alrighty. Mikhail, you got the floor, bro.
What up, y'all? You guys can hear me, right? I have to have my computer, or excuse me, my camera off on the one I'm speaking on because I'm trying to read my notes. But what up, though? This has been fire for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, not for play. It's crazy. Shout out my man Marcus. Shout out Imani. Shout out Cam. Shout out Don. Shout out Sam. Shout out Mama. Shout out Amber. Shout out all y'all who have literally just taken out this time to actually dig into this because real life, And like especially big shout out Imani, because I know if it took you a lot of like focus to read the book, it definitely took a lot of intentionality to hop on the call. You know what I'm saying? I know how that goes when you're like, man, don't even know if I want to read this thing. So I'm gonna hop on here and then people go hand me my ass for not reading. Like it's so like, bro, I appreciate you, real life, for fighting through that every weekend, for inspiring a different level of accountability on the call and self accountability. Hey Brooklyn. Hey Brooklyn, chill. It's okay. Brooklyn came down here snapping for a second. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here, let me get it. Thank you so much, baby. Thank you for coming downstairs and watching the living room. All right. Oh, okay. Well, he won't do it anymore. Okay, high five. All right, go watch Moana. So crazy, y'all. Every time I go to speak, he always pops right down here and starts talking to me. Like every time, faithfully. But in that, I'm trying to pull up something real fast. All right, cool. Now that I got that, I'm gonna come back here. Cool. I'm gonna go to my notes. So one, what everybody touched on was fire, and I was like, I do this thing because I always be expecting to go like second to last or last. That I be trying to like listen so that I can hit on the parts that like weren't hit on, and y'all definitely did not give me a lot to go through today. I just want to say that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all truly for going through the entire first two chapters in a way that one just like puts this into perspective exactly what EQ is, because that's what he did in the first two chapters. He literally just broke down like, hey, what is what we're going to talk about? Because most people don't ever talk about this at all. And so it was just dope. I appreciate y'all for that. So I'm going to dig in on just some things I caught in the process of you guys speaking as well as while I was reading. So, first things first is something I just wanted to say, and it honestly came up while Marcus was talking, also while Imani was talking. But it's your ability to experience success lies in your ability to experience its opposite. And I want to like really like break that down because I understood it on a new level today when I was reading this book. Like ultimately, as you develop more emotional intelligence, your ability to experience the success that you want in your life does not lie in the ability to remove yourself from certain environments, from certain people. It lies in your ability to experience those certain environments, experience those certain people, and have the discipline and commitment to the person that you became instead of the person that you were, so that you can react and respond completely differently than you used to because you've understood, like, yo, this emotion is going to go through, or excuse me, like this experience is going to go through my emotions to my brain. I'm going to think about it for a second, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to see how I feel about it. And then we're going to act. And in that, like, then you can like truly just become way more intentional, and it'll happen in a split of a second. At first it'll take a while, but it's literally like you're training the bone, and you guys being in this environment is training the bone. If you were uncomfortable, as Marcus said, lean in because you're training the bone to experience the opposite so that you can get to what you want. You got to experience the uncomfortability to get to being comfortable. There would be no touchdown if you didn't have to go through a D line. You'd be running your ass to the other side of the field, period. So, in that, as you guys go through, as we all go through these experiences, dealing with certain people and understanding where our emotional intelligence either wrongs us or helps us, like it's literally, we're working on it. And I just wanted to take a second and applaud everybody for being a part of that process, because literally you being here is a step in that right direction, period. So it's dope. I wrote down, it's not about knowing the knowledge, it's about having the emotional intelligence to stay disciplined and committed to doing what you said you would do long after the feeling when you said it has gone. That really, to me, kind of defined emotional intelligence, period. If you act the way that you said you would act long after the way in the which or the feelings that you had when you said it are not there anymore, i.e., if you say, yo, I'm not going to spaz off and cuss nobody out and punch nobody in the mouth no more. And I'm not doing that. And then all of a sudden you're in the middle of a conversation and somebody's really testing you and they're going crazy and everything in your body is telling you spaz off and steal off of them. Just knock them out. Just shut them up real quick. Just clean. Pow. And everything in you tells you to do it and you don't do it. That is an emotional intelligence, or excuse me, intelligent person's response. Period. And it can happen in minute ways just as much as it can happen in extremes. And I love what I've read so far in this book because I was like, oh, I'm about to hit a new level. And this is right on time for your boy. I've been needing this. But one thing to just wrap up how it was talking about experiences happen through the body, then through the emotions, then to the brain. And I loved that. Like with Anna's example, and she was saying if they're saying it and it's hurting me, it's because they care. And then I added a part in as I believe it to be true, or else it wouldn't hurt. And that I can change. Once you're aware of like, okay, I've accepted this belief, shout out for agreements. Okay, now I can change the belief. I can change literally. So in that, we can change what we accept and go hit a new level as well. And so EQ is so critical to success that it accounts, this is kind of switching gears a little bit, for 58% of performance in all types of jobs. Dig in on that real quick, y'all. I know, baby. It's okay. We're not having no more right now, you guys. Daddy's speaking. You got to be quiet for two minutes. Okay. Quiet game for 2 minutes. But in that, y'all, EQ is critical to success, that it literally makes up 58%. That is majority. There is no doubting it. That is majority. 58% of performance in all types of jobs. If you want to go and be successful, Agra, you've got to work on it. Literally. We are all not born with the same levels of EQ. This is why some of us are way smarter than other people, yet some other people that aren't as smart as us are having way bigger levels of success. Why? Because they have a different level of EQ. Period. They've put intentional work in on that. This is why I stress this so hard, y'all, that this call is important. Like, move around your priorities to prioritize yourself. Quit playing with yourself. I am a drummer at a church that I've been drumming at for 4 years. Do you know how much the worship team does not like me because I do not show up to rehearsals on Saturdays at 10 a.m.? And I've been there for 4 years. Every Saturday they ask me and they're damn near begging me, hey, bro, can you be at rehearsal on Saturday? No, bro, I got a book club call that I run every single Saturday. We all run this thing. I don't run it. Marcus don't run it. We all be trading off who be playing music, who be recording. It's whoever the heck is available. We're all saying we're taking the same few minutes, just giving the exact same thoughts. It's not any difference between me and anybody else on this call. Yet I'm missing something that is a high priority in which that actually pays me every single. I make an extra $400 from doing this every week. Every month. So like, yo, it's a real life priority. And if you want to get to the new levels, the next levels in your life, you've got to make things like this in your life a real life priority. I don't care if it's TGF Book Club. It's literally time that you spend directly working intentionally on you. This is about the presenter, not the presentation, as my old mentor Lord would say. Like literally. So it's critical, man. And I just really wanted to honestly explain that link. And he took literally, I took these quotes right from the book. These are not even my words. The link between EQ and earnings is so direct that every point increase in EQ adds $1,300 to an annual salary. Now, here we create our own salaries, which is lit. So understand you're starting off from zero. So every point that you make it to actually grow and get better, every Saturday call that you actually make it on, every book that you actually read, you will see these fruits of your labor start to produce in your life. Promise. I'm living proof of it. Real life. And it be in and out of the business that we all do with each other. I'm about to have the craziest week of my life, which is super wild. And we've been stacking clients. And I'm like, dude, we're not even done yet. This is nuts. I'm excited. But in that, it's literally because we've just been working on our EQ because I'm also in a season of my life that is so crazy that I could just not do anything and shut down like I used to, not be answering nobody calls, not be hopping on nobody calls, not be posting anything on social media, not be doing anything, not really be outside like that, and just kind of wallowing in what the hell I got going on. But instead of doing that, I just decide to get up every single day and get after it to the point where I'm falling asleep wherever I'm at by the end of the day. Sometimes I don't even make it all the way upstairs. It's crazy. I don't fall asleep at this desk. I be falling asleep in the car. I walk in here, lay on Tia's lap on the couch, and fall asleep right there. Like it's crazy. But when you've done your best, like, bro, it's a good feeling to wake up every single day and grind, no matter what. So get out there and do your best, but make sure that your best includes you intentionally working on yourself. Don't give yourself the short end of the straw, period. Because at the end of the day, we all want to make some more money. We all want more freedom. We all want more abundance. Y'all literally threw it in the chat. So if you serious about it, you got to work on it. Now, he said that we enter the workforce knowing how to read, write, and report on bodies of knowledge, but too often we lack the skills to manage our emotions in the heat of challenging problems that we face. Good decisions require far more than factual knowledge. They are made using self knowledge and emotional mastery when they're needed most. That was a bar because it's real life. We are not taught these things in school. Marcus and I were having a conversation yesterday, and we were like, bro, we're literally reading emotional intelligence with all of our team affiliate students. Like, who is out here doing that? Real life. Who is out here doing that? I can't name any. You know what I'm saying? In real life. I know mentors of mine that'll literally get up on stage and be like, yeah, you just got to skim the book. Like people ain't actually focused on actually growing out here, actually becoming great people, actually giving back to society, actually creating a real life impact, actually taking not only their life but all their people's lives to the next level. People ain't focused on that for real. They're focused on getting a dollar. So come on, Mike. I gotta leave the camera for a second because my man just ripped off a poopy diaper. Come on, bud. Let's walk this way. Come on. Keep walking. It's okay. Daddy got you. Daddy got you. Come on. Boom. All right, go. Nope, go. Don't take it off. Daddy's gonna take it off. Daddy's gonna change it. Daddy's gonna change it. Come on. But yeah, y'all, it's honestly crazy because majority of people just aren't doing this at all. And I believe that as human beings, here, just lay here for a second. Daddy's gonna go get a diaper from upstairs, okay? I'll be right back. As human beings, we must command our inner world to build our external empires. This is a quote I literally just got from Gerard Adams when I woke up this morning. I was about to go and post a TikTok or a reel, excuse me, and I was editing a draft. I fell asleep editing it last night. So as I opened my phone, it popped up and then it went to the homepage. And as it went to the homepage, I seen this thing from Gerard. And with Gerard, he had posted this video clip from the Hulk, the 2008 version. It was a video clip on the dude, Bruce Banner, who was chopping it up with this monk who was teaching him breath work in order to overcome anger. Big shout out Kelsey on the call, real quick. If y'all don't know, pretty sure it's still in the app. If y'all don't know, inside of our app, there is literally a whole series on breath work. We teach this. We've been intentional about this. All of our members have. Truly, it's been amazing. Honestly, we've cultivated an amazing culture here that teaches way more. This is why we're all having success in a lot of areas in our life, literally. So, in that, I'm excited, man, truly, because we have a lot of the resources here to be able to really create lasting change. But in that, he was talking about breath work and he was breaking this down. And this was Gerard's caption. He said, breathwork, meditation, and self mastery practices give you the power to control emotions and not be controlled by them, make strategic decisions with clarity and certainty, overcome obstacles with resilience and courage, focus on your vision, and build your legacy. Self mastery is the foundation of greatness. If you want to master your inner self while building your legacy, get around people who are doing that. And I just wanted to, as I always do, y'all, literally give thanks to everything that we got going on as a squad. Because truthfully, as I read that caption, the only thing that I was thinking about was TGF Network and all of our members and everybody who hops on this call, like everything that we do, just the entire network in its entirety, all of our different chapters, the whole nine, y'all. It was dope to really think about as I was sitting there. I was like, yo, we're doing that. And this is Gerard Adams. He's one of the biggest entrepreneurs on the planet, one of the most intentional entrepreneurs on the planet who's been able to impact millions of lives. So in that, we're definitely moving in the right direction. We're definitely doing the right things. I just really implore everybody as we go through these next few weeks, really dig in on yourself and take this book serious because this book will help you take your whole life to the next level. So I know it's a little scientific in the beginning, and shout out Marcus for loving that because I'm not the scientific guy. So when I started seeing all them big words, I was like, let me skim these few pages and come back to this part real quick. And I had to read it a couple times too. Okay. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? I was not the greatest student. It does make me uncomfortable, but ultimately, this is the point of growth. So I'm grateful to be doing it with y'all. I'm grateful to hop on here every single Saturday and have a self accountability of a point like, yo, like I got to read this book before I hop on here. You know what I'm saying? So in that, I'm grateful for it, man. We're gonna get it in, y'all. I gotta change this diaper. I love y'all. What happened? Hey, Roshizi, if you did want to go real fast, go ahead. If not, I'm gonna change this diaper super fast. I'm gonna let us know that traffic's for next week.
Hey y'all. I really like the whole concept of like IQ, like intelligence, doesn't measure success like fully. Like that's how scientists and society has always looked at it. Like how intelligent you are measures how successful you are. But it's more so what they're discovering or have discovered is that emotional intelligence has a lot to do with someone's success. And it made me reflect on my emotional intelligence or lack thereof at different points in my life and how um, like I don't know, I always beat myself up sometimes for not finishing college and like not sticking with one job for a long time and like working my way up in a company. I know we're on a different book now, but that part of Rich Dad Poor Dad that was like talking about learn a lot of know a little bit about a lot of different things, right? I felt really seen when I read that, and then in this book, I'm starting to feel really seen because I know that I don't have to be the smartest cookie in the cookie jar. You know, it's not about that. It's about how do I deal with my emotions and that whole story about the shark was really. I was listening to the audiobook. I was on the edge of my seat, like, oh my God, does he get eaten by the shark or not? Like, what the fuck? Excuse my language. I'm trying to work on that. But I've just been faced with last night, I was going through some very intense emotions. And like today, I feel exhausted from the amount of which I was crying last night. And but I got through it. And like, I didn't cope with my emotions last night in a way that I normally do, um, which is to escape my reality through a thing or a person or place. I didn't do that. I sat with my feelings and I shared about my feelings with somebody and I went to sleep about it. And then I woke up today and like I'm okay. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to read this book some more and I'm gonna go watch the recording because I didn't get to hear what everybody else had to say about it. But thanks for being here. Thanks for letting me share.
Can you guys hear me? You see me?
Yeah, we can hear you,
I
sir.
can I can hear you.
Okay, it's right there. Okay, my bad. There's a lot going on in the background. I'm sorry if y'all can hear everything. Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. All right, so real fast. My apologies. fire discussion, you guys. I appreciate y'all for everything. Truly, I appreciate everybody being here, hopping on. Happy Saturday. Let's get it. If y'all need anything, we all right here. We ain't nothing but a call or a text away. Period. Hit the app, hit the chats, all of them. You know what I'm saying? All the apps, all the chats. We got hella ways to communicate. So, with that, let us know. Next week, we will be covering chapters 3 and 4. Going through that thing, I'm excited. Right now, at this exact moment in time, I am not looking at the titles. So, in that, I know number 4 breaks down, or excuse me, chapter 3 breaks down 4 skills or something. I don't know. It's all good. We're going to read that thing. Chapters 3 and 4. You know what I'm saying? Just keep reading and we'll chop it up next week, man. I appreciate y'all. And as always, I'll see y'all at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Let's go get it. Invite a friend next week. Give them the book. Send them the PDF. You can literally give it to them for free. This one gonna be one of them ones that's gonna change a lot of situations. So I appreciate y'all. Much love. I will talk to y'all soon.
Wait.